Everyone, welcome to the Lakeland Rotary Club. My name is Joel Ivy, and I'm so glad you could join us. We're calling this meeting to order. Starting us off is going to be Tammy Croteau. Tammy is the Director of Finance for Magnolia Montessori Academy. She's a 3-year member of the Lakeland Rotary Club, and she's going to lead us through the invocation, Pledge of Allegiance, and to recite the 4-way test. Tammy, take it away.
Thanks, Joel. Okay, so this is my first time doing the invocation and pledge, so grace and courtesy, please. Do my best. Dear God, people are often unreasonable and self-centered. Help me forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse me of ulterior motives. Help me be kind anyway. If I am honest, people may cheat us, but be honest anyway. If we find happiness, people may be jealous. Help me be happy anyway. The good we do today may be forgotten tomorrow, but help us do good anyway. Help us give the world the best, and it may never be enough, but help us give our best anyway. For you see, in the end, it is not between us and other people, it is between us and you. Thank you, dear God. And then the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and through the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The 4-way test of the things we think, say, or
do.
Is it truth?
Is it fair to
all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Tammy, great job. You get to do this from now on.
No.
So getting on with our introduction of guests and visiting Rotarians, there was a threat that we're going to have a nice guest coming in from our Wallace, Italy group in England. Hopefully she's able to join. But Trey is going to be introducing that. Trey Harden is a member of Harden Eldridge Law Group. He's a board secretary and he's a 2-year Rotary Club member. So Trey, take it away.
Good afternoon, everyone. If we have any guests today or people that have brought guests, if they could introduce everyone for us, please.
Well, this is Brock Self, and Deborah Boyington is my guest today, and she is going in with the next Rotary Information Group.
Very good. Welcome, Deborah. We have anyone else?
This is Don Selvage, and it's my honor to present on behalf of Kathy Abels and me, Jeremy Mockabee, this new commanding officer at the Salvation Army, and Jeremy is also entering the Rotary Information. So, Jeremy, stand up and say hello.
Greetings, everybody. It's good to see everybody. I think this is my 5th or 6th Rotary here in Lakeland so far, and again, it's my honor to be here.
Welcome, Jeremy. Any other guests or visiting Rotarians?
Yes, this is Kathy Abels, and my Equanian husband is here today.
Welcome, Bruce.
Thank you.
Trey, do we have anybody else?
Trey, it's Kim Brunson.
Hey, Kim.
I want to introduce my daughter again, Laura Brunson, who's also entering Rotary Information when it starts up. So I don't know if Laura's camera is turned on, but you might want to turn it on and wave at everyone, Laura.
I did a little bit ago. Hi, everybody.
Do we have any other guests or visiting Rotarians today? Okay, I think that's it.
All right, Trey, thank you. We're going to move on to Happy Dollars. Surely this group is happy today. There's a lot to be happy about. It's such a great day. So anybody speak up, please.
I have a happy dollar. This is Mike Loudon. And I'm happy to share that our youngest son, who has been a pastor of a church north of Pittsburgh, was just called to become senior pastor of the First Presbyterian Church of Lancaster, Ohio, about 35 miles southeast of Columbus. So hopefully we can get him in the Rotary Club out there.
Fantastic. Congratulations. Anybody else? Cricket, cricket, cricket. Come on, you guys can do better than that. All right, let's go right into announcements then. Are you tired of the same old grind? Are you looking for something new and fantastic in your life? Do you want to be part of something fun and great? Then Jack Lohman is the person for you. Jack Lohman is in charge of the fellowship committee. He's in need of 2 highly spirited individuals to join him and help him put together some events for the rest of this year. So if you're of a mind to do so, don't ask what that was I just held up. If you're of a mind to do so, please get with Jack Lohman and help him get going, because right now it's pretty much him and anybody else ad hoc that wants to join in. So we'd like to get 2 more members to join that particular committee. Thank you. Jack, did you want to add anything to that?
Well, I do. Thank you, President Joel. Because if I don't get some help, the next fellowship event will be a Yahtzee tournament, and I don't think anybody's looking forward to that. But we do have our next fellowship event already scheduled. It will be Thursday, August 27th. It'll be a good old-fashioned happy hour. I think everybody could use an excuse to be happy. So we're going to meet at 1916, which is the at the clubhouse at Cleveland Heights Golf Course, 5:30. If you haven't been there, they've got lots of room to spread out, indoors, outdoors, great food. So if you'll come join, catch up with your fellow Rotarians, find out what they've been doing for the last 5 months, share pictures of new grandkids, new puppies, new whatever. But just a great chance to get together and visit with everybody. So I hope you can be there Thursday, August 27th at 5:30.
Right. Thank you, Jack. Our great district governor, Mark Skolnick, is putting out Minitarian, the Minitarian, I guess. And so rather than read it at the club, what we're going to do is broadcast the email out to all of the club members. So please check that out from Mark. That should be coming out once a week. We have a board of directors meeting, my first one. It promises to be the best board of directors meeting ever. It's going to be held via Zoom, which is why it's going to be so good. It's going to start at 5:15. Anybody is welcome to join except Bruce Abels. We're going to be talking about bylaws updates, a riveting conversation. We're going to be talking about fundraising and a little bit about goal setting. So if you're of a mind to want to participate in that, get with Beth and she can send you the link to this particular meeting. Julie, anything on dues?
Yeah, we have about 29 folks who still haven't paid their dues. Heard from a couple of people, so a couple of those are pending. But yeah, got 29.
Okay, so
what are you going to do about that?
Well, according to Bruce, they can come be a Kiwanian for free. So there's always that. Okay, Kim Brunson, get yourself teed up. Kim is going to introduce our program today. Kim is the business relationship manager for Publix. She's on the board of directors and she's in charge of the program committee, and she's a 7-year Rotarian with the Lakeland Rotary Club. Kim, take it away.
Thank you, President Joel. It's my privilege and honor to introduce a very close friend of mine, Alice. Alice is a resident of Lakeland, a graduate of Florida Southern College, and a returned Peace Corps volunteer, a mother and a lifelong learner. She enjoys a challenge. She's written grants, memos, resumes, press releases, love letters, magazine articles, executive summaries, lunchbox notes, professional bios, research papers, and Facebook status updates, though she's never tweeted anything. She's learned to speak French and dance salsa. Her work experience is comprised of more than 18 years of experience in the nonprofit sector, with roles in social mobilization, teaching, project orientation and management, grant writing, fundraising, executive leadership, and creatively seeking ways to improve social conditions. In her free time, Alice hangs out with her kids. Abby's 13, Jack's 11. She also regularly volunteers with Polk Museum of Art, Kiwanis Club of Lakeland, and Junior League of Greater Lakeland. She loves music, travel, and books. Alice is a graduate of Leadership Lakeland Class 30, Leadership Polk Class 9, and the Public Leadership Institute. In 2017, she was awarded 1 of 5 Polk Emerging Leaders Award, and in 2019, she was named City Maker by our very own Lakeland Mayor, Bill Mutz. Alice currently serves as the president and CEO of the Lakeland Volunteers in Medicine, where she gets to engage the community and ensure that Polk County's working uninsured residents have access to high quality, compassionate, and free primary health care. In addition to working at LVIM, she also serves as executive director of Iron Horse Family Foundation, a private family foundation that supports organizations' efforts to improve the lives of children. Alice is always doing amazing work. So with that, Alice, glad to have you.
All right. Thanks, guys. This is my first official real presentation on Zoom, so I'm going to go ahead and ask for your grace and forgiveness as we go through this. Additionally, I know you all had me, gosh, when was that? It's all a blur. Maybe last fall sometime, I think I presented to you all just kind of the overall vision of Lakeland Volunteers in Medicine as we move into the future. And so I was really excited that Kim asked me to come and kind of give an update because just like all of your lives, our lives have changed pretty drastically too. And I also am going to just apologize for my appearance. Part of the new normal is that our whole staff is doing everything, and today is our food pantry distribution. So after this, I'm going to be outside in the 95-degree heat slinging food boxes. So that's why I look like this. Not very presidential, but it is what it is. All right, I'm going to try to share my screen and see, let's see if I can make this happen. And I want to make that go away. Hang on. Let's see. All right. So Lakeland Volunteers in the time of Corona. I am really excited to be here to share with you our journey. It, like many of your journeys, has been one of many, many questions, many, many answers that tend to change every single day. So many of you already know what we do. Let's see if it will, there it goes. Many of you already know what we do, but just as a quick overview for those of you who may not know, Lakeland Volunteers in Medicine strives to meet the needs of people who are medically underserved by providing primary health care to Polk County residents who earn less than 200% of the federal poverty level. We do that in a multitude of ways, but mostly we provide medical care that includes primary and specialty care, pharmacy services, lab, radiology, ultrasound, and referral services. Additionally, we operate a full-service dental clinic that includes cleanings, extractions, x-rays, fillings, repair, and also referral services for things like orthodontia and endodontics and all the other non-primary dental needs. And then we also provide mental health with on-site counseling, virtual counseling, and psychiatric referrals. At the end of the day, we are really proud that the treatment here is free, but the care is priceless. So as we finished out the year 2019, as you all know, our founding CEO retired in the end of August last year, and I stepped in as CEO in September. And we finished out 2019 having served 1,811 unique patients, providing 33,735 patient visits. We worked with 298 volunteers, and we gave back more than $9 million in healthcare services. It was a really fantastic year. And so out the year, we looked at, okay, how can we build on this success and keep focused on our mission, but grow what we do and reach more people? So we set a goal to serve 2,000 unique patients, to serve the whole of Polk County more effectively, and to look for opportunities to add more services. Additionally, we increased our budget because the more people you serve, the more services they need and the more it costs. So our budget this year was remains just under $2 million. We set out pretty strong, and then in March, all of that came to a screeching halt, which is no surprise to you. So we took a big pause, a big deep breath, and we refocused on our primary goal. So given all of the uncertainty with the arrival of COVID-19 in the States and in Florida, we really took a step back and we said, okay, even with all of this, how can we continue meeting our mission to provide healthcare services to those who have no health insurance? So immediately in March, I think it was St. Patrick's Day actually, that everything the brakes got hit pretty hard. We immediately took a step back and we looked at, okay, our volunteer workforce, they are why we can do what we do. Many of them are retired and in an age bracket that needed to stay home. And so we really looked at, we want to empower them to stay home, encourage them to stay home. We want to uplift them and make them feel good about that, but still remain a part of Lakeland Volunteers in Medicine. So our staff that manages our volunteers really stepped up with some creative ways to make sure that our volunteers didn't feel kind of berated and made to feel bad for not coming in. And we worked, I'll get to some of the things that we did over this time to keep them engaged. Additionally, we, about half of our staff, I sent them to work from home and then had to kind of transition the staff that remained in the office to fill in all of the volunteer roles that weren't being filled, and to make the clinic run. So there were days that I was sitting outside delivering pharmacy medications to patients or ordering pharmacy medications from the pharmacy, from our pharmaceutical partners. And every staff member was doing things that aren't in their normal job description. We increased our safety measures, as most of you all who have businesses did as well. We amped up our cleaning services. We mandated masks very early on. We were doing temperature checks very early on. We installed plexiglass barriers, and of course, we acquired a whole ton of personal protective equipment for our staff and volunteers. We altered our services. We implemented a curbside pharmacy pickup, and additionally we started ordering a 3-month supply of medication for our patients instead of the normal 1 month, so that it would limit their interaction and having to leave the house. We were able to launch a telemedicine platform, so our patients now have access to see their physicians, their providers on a video just like this. We expanded our appointment times, and what that does is it limits the number of people in the building at the same time. And then if a service could wait, it did. We ceased doing anything that was not essential. So if I don't know, if a woman needed a pap smear, just a routine one, we put it off. We just paused it. Our entire dental clinic shut down except for emergency visits. So we paused anything that wasn't necessary. And then we enhanced communications with all of our many of our volunteers staying home. And then the community just kind of wondering, like, how are things going and how are we impacted? We really enhanced our communications efforts with more regular e-blasts. We did a snail mail campaign. All of our volunteers received handwritten letters from us. We posted lots of signage and memos all over everywhere. And of course, our social media presence has increased quite a bit. Our motto has kind of been make plans until plans change. And then I'm going to try and see if this little link works. Oh, good. I think it's going to. This is kind of what our life is.
You know, just follow my lead. Okay. Come on, Joe. All right, okay. There we go. Ready? Yeah. Turn. 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 I think we can turn it more. I just don't think it's going to fit. Oh, yeah. Well, come on. Up. Yes. Here we go. Pivot. 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 Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. I don't think it's going to pivot anymore. You think? All right, let's bring it back down and try again. Oh. Okay, yeah, I think it's really stuck now. I can't believe that didn't work.
I know, me neither. I mean, you had a sketch.
Oh, you know what did you mean when you said pivot?
So I think probably a lot of you can relate. We've got all these beautiful plans to get the couch up the stairs, as it were, and then you make plans, you make the sketch, and you try to get upstairs, and you got to pivot every day. So daily, there remain many questions. We kind of daily revisit our testing strategy. We are not testing any patients for COVID-19 here. Fortunately, early on, we didn't have the need to. We didn't have any patients that needed to. Originally, we were only issued 10 kits, and we thought that was never going to make an impact. And so we were able to, by the time we needed to test a patient, we were able to partner with Lakeland Regional and LabCorp to get our patients tested that needed it. Also, personal protective equipment. While we did have enough to get us through the first little bit, our inventory started to deplete, and the cost of personal protective equipment has increased exponentially, which is a budget line item we weren't planning on. But we were able to partner with the Florida Association of Free and Charitable Clinics to acquire enough personal protective equipment to get us through at least December 31st. So we placed a giant bulk order with all of the other free clinics in the country, which helped us get a tiny little price break, but still ordering that much was a bit of a little gut punch to our budget. We continue to ask, how can we continue to appreciate and maintain our volunteer force? We still need them. We still need volunteers to make this mission come to life and provide the service to our patients. Additionally, as the economic impact of all of the coronavirus takes root, we are having a gigantic increase in people needing our services. While we do serve the working uninsured, we have always defined recently unemployed as working. We will give people who have been recently laid off eligibility for our services for a year from their last date of employment. And so as you can imagine, with people losing jobs and being furloughed and losing their benefits, the need for our services has increased, but our volunteer workforce has decreased. And so we keep asking, where can we find more volunteers, and how can we keep providing that service, because the need keeps growing. Of course, funding is a question. We did have to postpone the Swan Derby, which usually is in April. We are planning to do something in October. It will not look like the normal Derby. We won't have 4,000 people on Lake Mirror, but there will be something, most likely with a virtual format. So keep your eyes open for that in October. We keep following CDC guidance and our local health department guidance on return to work post-COVID. So in the case that a staff member might come down with COVID, hasn't happened yet, thank goodness. But what does it look like for them to return to work? CDC guidance is actually pretty broad, but we are tightening that up and making it a little more strict because of our volunteer workforce. So we want to keep them safe. And so both patients and staff who have a positive COVID test must be symptom-free for at least 2 weeks and come back with a negative result before they can come in the building again. For our patients, we can obviously still serve them via telemedicine, which is a really great thing. And the new patient enrollment, like I mentioned, the need is growing. And so we just every day we kind of monitor how many requests have we had. Do we have enough volunteers to serve them, including medical providers? So far, so good. As a little fun fact, we have had 40 patients that we've referred out for COVID tests, but only 9 have come back positive. So our population seems to be doing pretty well for right now. And we've had no volunteers and no staff with a positive either. I put a little slideshow in here for some fun images of what our new normal is like. Over here, we have our volunteer manager working from home. That's her little home office. In February, our nurse practitioner, Melissa Cam, had resigned for a fantastic opportunity that was going to pay off her student loans, and we were really sad to see her go, but Kamal Magat, who's pictured here, she started, I think, on day 1 of lockdown. So she's a trooper, and she's been amazing. She's our new nurse practitioner. Our clinical trainer, Mary, had a baby. Elian, he's here. It's fun to have a baby around, even virtually. We've been able to, since we're all meeting via Zoom, we're not going anywhere. I don't have any meetings. We get to ride our bike to work. It's really awesome. There's a picture of me doing our curbside pharmacy pickup. Our staff, of course, we've had tons of Zoom meetings for our staff meetings and board meetings. Here's some of our volunteers who continued to come in. Charlie and Linda are a married couple that have come in through the entire pandemic. They've been really, really amazing. And this is Londa, our referral coordinator. In April, it was Volunteer Appreciation Month, and we usually have a giant picnic, and it's super fun. And of course, we couldn't do that this year, so we did a ding dong ditch and delivered little goodie bags to all of our volunteers, masked up and socially distanced, and they got a big kick around that. We put little love notes on their front doors, and that was super fun. We've been visited by a wild turkey, and many organizations and individuals have provided lunch for our staff and volunteers throughout this whole ordeal, which has been a really nice thank you from the community, just so that so everybody feels like we are a community and we're all in this together. Our food pantry I'm really super proud of. March 10th, we launched our partnership with United Way and Feeding Tampa Bay through the George Jenkins End Hunger Initiative. So that was a week before lockdown and before all of this hit real hard. I've got a little graph here so you can see to date how many people we've served. We started out serving 121 households on our very first day. At the peak in mid-May, we served 326 households, and it's kind of averaged out. We're kind of up around the 250, 270 mark now. And like I said, that's happening right now in our parking lot. We did have to pivot as well with the way we do this. We have made it all drive-through, so nobody gets out of their car. We are all masked and gloved. We're all distanced, and we pack up the food on Tuesday morning, and we just have the clients drive around our parking lot and pop their trunk, and we put a box in. It works pretty magically. Another thing that I'm super proud of is you can see pictured here some of the food that we are able to provide. We are a healthcare agency. I wasn't super excited about the prospect of a food pantry where we're giving out Chef Boyardee and Pop-Tarts and non-perishable items. We have all fresh food. So you can see some samples here, some green lettuce, bananas, sweet potatoes, that's yogurt, oranges, tomatoes, whole hams, cabbage. We get really, really amazing food, and it's been a delight. I do want to take a minute and read to you a testimonial from one of our food pantry clients. It is, "Thank you very much for providing the food pantry for the community and your patients with fresh foods as well as our medical visits. I appreciate the insight that is required when trying to provide healthcare to individuals and families. It's not just medicine, and you exemplify this through actions that demonstrate your understanding of this caring, including providing nutritious and healthy foods. My second household is comprised of my daughter-in-law, who is of the Tlingit Alaska tribe. She's also a paraplegic, My 3-year-old granddaughter and my son live with her as well. Although my daughter-in-law is full Native Alaskan and my son Cherokee, they have a very difficult time jumping through the hoops oftentimes required with the Florida indigent application process. They were thrilled to have received milk, vegetables, fruit, protein, and are very grateful. 5 years ago, I moved in with my 89-year-old dad to help care for him while he fights 2 forms of cancer, radiation, chemo, and is also a cardiac patient. I also have a brother who is 63 with paranoid schizophrenia who receives aid through Peace River Center. My oldest son, also a patient at LVIM, is literally kept alive from the services, medications, and the food he receives at Lakeland Volunteers in Medicine. He has been part of the hardest impacted during COVID-19, as his employment in the restaurant business, he did not receive stimulus, unemployment, or assistance of any kind. He has a severe thyroid condition, and LVIM provides his life-saving medication and monitors his dosage. I am the nucleus of my family. Everyone is depending on me. My income has also been threatened during this time as well because the doctor I transcribed for is an orthopedist deemed non-essential for a time during the state mandates. My whole family depends on and appreciates Lakeland Volunteers in Medicine. Thank you for how you have positively impacted our lives. Let's see, a little chat box. So as of June 30th, we're working on our July numbers now. As of June 30th, I wanted to give you a little bit of a comparison. We have served 1,738 unique patients. 283 of them are new. We have provided 15,035 patient visits, 411 of which have been telemedicine. We are keeping our budget in check. We are 88% to our revenue budget, what we projected to have raised by this point. We've gotten to 88%. Oh, hold on, sorry, I went back. But we've been keeping our expenses relatively in line. We're at 89% of our expense budget. The year-to-date value of our services is just under $4 million, and we are projecting about $130,000 budget shortfall, and that's for a lot of reasons. Donations have declined in some ways. Our United Way allocation across the board, agencies with United Way have taken a pretty deep hit due to, workplace campaigns are down because coronavirus. So it's a challenging time for sure, but we are keeping it in check, and we are confident that we will remain a service to this community. We remain healthy. Some other things that have happened, I've mentioned some of these. We have renewed our partnership with the YMCA. It just started up again a couple weeks ago. We are able to prescribe a membership to the YMCA for patients who struggle with either obesity or diabetes, chronic high blood pressure, things of that nature. And in a really fun twist, we were able to allow one of our volunteers to act as a patient advocate and really be the patients who get to go to the YMCA, be their accountability partner. So she's calling them twice a week to make sure they're on track to go. If they're experiencing any challenges, she gets to follow up with them. She gets to kind of track their progress. And she's super excited to stay engaged with patients in a safe way from home. I mentioned our partnership with Florida Association of Free and Charitable Clinics that allowed us to get personal protective equipment, enough supply through the end of the year. We have created many volunteer from home opportunities for our faithful volunteers. We're experimenting with a virtual intake process for new patients to limit people's need to come into the building. We've been trying to figure out a way to have patients be able to upload all their documents to us, and we'll review them, and they can sign them when they come for their first appointment. We've been doing volunteer Zoom hangouts just for fun to keep everybody connected and engaged. Our virtual derby will be October 17th. And then, of course, we did get approved for a payroll protection loan early on in April. I think that came through. And we've received money from the Polk Cares. We've received some funds from United Community Relief Fund, the partnership between the GiveWell Community Foundation and United Way. And so in some ways, revenue is down, and then there's been new revenue, kind of new temporary opportunities as well that have come through that have kept us steady. Additionally, we were able to partner with, oh no. There it goes. I think it's going to work. We were able to partner with the local filmmaker, Kevin O'Brien. You've probably seen this floating around social media. We were his initial partner. Before the city of Lakeland mandated masks, we wanted to take a stand, and this is our message.
We've been missing a lot lately. Hugs, smiles, lip reading. So let's not miss this. A big part of what makes us human is our willingness to give up some of our own comfort to help out a neighbor. Lakeland has 114,000 reasons to mask up, but the only one you'll need is probably right next to you. Mask up, Lakeland.
So there's a lot of ways that any of you can help spread the word. Some easy things are in-kind donations. If you come across hand sanitizer, if you want to buy lunch for staff and volunteers, if you just want to write a thank you note and send it to our volunteers, they love knowing that the community knows they're here. Of course, financial contributions are always welcome. $50 helps pay for one patient visit. Of course, volunteering, with so many volunteers out, we are looking for volunteers who are willing to come in during this time to help with scheduling, answering phones, medical records, things like that. You don't have to have medical or clinic experience for that matter. And of course, food pantry. Every second and last Tuesday of the month, we have our food pantry, and we're always looking for volunteers to help sling boxes and check patients in. And with that, I am going to entertain your questions.
Alice, great presentation. Thank you. I think we all know LVIM to be just a fantastic organization. You guys are constantly doing great things, and we appreciate you here in this community. Beth, do you have a list of questions?
I do. The first one's from Don Selvage, and he says, with unemployment remaining so high, do you anticipate a sharp increase in demand in the coming months?
Yes, definitely. We've already seen it. We have to manage our ability to serve folks, so we've kind of committed to capping our new patient enrollment at 40 a month, and we're just kind of monitoring that on the daily. There's no way that the LVIM alone will be able to serve the uninsured need in the whole county, but we certainly are open and excited to be here to alleviate some of that.
We have one more question from Steve, and it says positive rate of 22.5% of those tested. The entire organization is very impressive, and thank you. I'm not sure what he was asking about the positive rate.
I get it. It's a high rate for those we've sent to have tested, 9 of 40, but 9 of our almost 2,000, patients in general. I don't know if I covered real well, but when patients have a positive, they're sent to the Lakeland Regional testing site, which is, we write them a prescription so it's free to them, and the patients aren't paying for it. And then their results come back to us and we log them. Additionally, if a patient is getting tested elsewhere, so if they on their own go to the drive-through testing site somewhere in the county, we are relying on them to tell us the truth, but we ask every patient when they have an appointment, have you had a positive, have you been tested, and have you had a positive? Can't force them to tell us, but we are asking, and I think most of them are honest, and we're tracking that as well.
And Alice, we have a couple of more questions. One was, how do people sign up for the food pantry to help out?
Sure, I will. You can go on our website, lvim.net/volunteer. And fill out, there's just a little general information, and then we send out an email every week before the food pantry asking if you want to come and help.
And there was another one that asked if you had a feature on your website where people could see the days and times that you need volunteers.
We do not.
Okay.
We do not. We are open, Monday, half day Friday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, from 8 to 3. And there's spots within all of those. It really is a week by week. That's why we don't post it, because every week somebody's decided to stay home or come in, or so it's just an ever changing schedule.
Great, thank you. President Joel, I think that's all the questions.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Alice, I know there's a lot of prominent charitable organizations around town, around the area, that have been hit pretty hard. Even the United Way is having trouble funding at the same levels. Are you guys seeing that as well?
We are. Our United Way allocation came in at 60% of what we got last year. So that hurts, you know.
Yeah.
But there are other efforts that are out there, like the United Community Relief Fund that United Way launched with GiveWell, and there's the Polk Cares money that we got $10,000 for small business support out of that. So every time there's an opportunity, we're reaching for it.
Yeah, it's just a constant reminder that there's still a lot of need out there, and the need has only increased. So I just encourage everybody to, make sure that you're participating as much as you can to try to help out. I know that we all do that quite a bit. So Alice, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us. I have this highly coveted notebook. It's got Rotary all over it. It doesn't say anything about Kiwanis. I want to point that out. So, but we're so happy to have you here, have you back speaking to us again, and you're doing a great job at the helm of LVIM, and look forward to a lot of great things to come in the future. So thanks for sharing your lunch with us.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, Mr. Trey, can you thank our guests and visiting Rotarians?
Sure. I'd like to thank everyone for coming today. Our guests, Jeremy Mockabee, Laura Adams, Bruce Abels, and Deborah Boynton. And I hope I didn't miss anyone.
So Jeremy and Laura, we should be getting you through Rotary information into this STARS class. That is our goal. So that should be coming up very soon. And thank you all for staying with us. The weekly quote: if you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. That's from the Dalai Lama. Next week's program is Carrie Falwell. She's going to be talking about Explorations 5. And absent any protest to the contrary, I'll call this meeting adjourned.